So it will open Anaconda. So now you can see all these things here. So you just close this. Now we will be using Jupyter Notebook in Anaconda. So there are different packages, so you can use accordingly. Now we'll be using Jupyter Notebook. So go to launch, you launch Jupyter Notebook. Now you can see Jupyter Notebook being open in your laptop. Now you can make your folder. Suppose I will be making new folder, learning file. So in the learning file you go and just create a new Python 3 IPY kernel. So this will open a new Python in Jupyter Notebook. Now you can see a bunch of things here. So here this is the cell, this is the cell. So you can create of this cell below like this. You can move this cell like this, move this cell like down. So these are the cells. Okay, so I will cut this cell like this. So you can see file here, you can see edit, view, run, kernel settings, help, and these are the save menu. You can insert below, cell below, you can cut this cell, you can copy this cell. So these are the things that are required for the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so first thing we understand is the cell. We use it for writing the code. So this is in the form of code section, and you can see this is a markdown or as a row section. Let's try to write a simple code that I will print something like this. So if I like to print something using the string, just in it's the very same as in Excel. So if you want to, please siblings, how are you? Yes, I want to print this. Yes, so since this is a string and I need to print this, so this print syntax is not good, so I need to print. Yeah, so now print this. Now you can just run this code by entering this. So you just run this code, but if you make this as markdown, now if you just run this code, then you see in the form of your markdown. So this is very useful when you have to make some information and you have to share this information to other people. So now you can see here that this is a run option, and you can see run selected cell is done using shift plus enter, right? So run selected cell and insert below, alt enter. So run selected cell and do not advance is control enter. So you can run by different ways. So for example, if you enter shift plus enter, the shortcut, then let's see, we delete this. So we go to this cell and we just hit shift and enter. Now you can see this code has been run and something has been printed, and now you are in the next. So shift enter is like this. So if I again delete this cell, now if I do control enter, then you can see that this code has been run. So it was 2 and now it has become 3, but you are not advanced into the next line or next cell. Yes, so this is the shift enter. So when you have to run the code and do not need to advance downward, you can hit control plus enter. When you have to run the code and go to the next cell, then you can hit the shift enter. Again, we have in the run cell, you can use alt plus enter, run selected cell and insert below. So run selected cell and insert below. For example, you just enter all enter. So it has run this cell and it has make another cell. So these are very few examples of run. You can use whatever you like. Okay, suppose if you write in this code 2 plus 3, then if you hit shift enter, then the result will be 5, right? So very easy. Or if you just do 2 plus 3 and if you hit control enter, then it is again 5, but the difference is that you are not following the another cell. So for example, if you do 20 into 5, then you hit shift enter, then this cell is run, so something result is popping. So you can do calculations in Jupyter Notebook as well. So these are very basic calculations you can do. When you just put this sign in front of your sentence, then it shows that it is the comment. So this is for the comment section. Yes, as in the Excel in Python we have watched earlier as well, right? So let's see the length of the, suppose the ground is 100 meter and the breadth of the field is suppose 37 meter. Now you need to calculate the area. You just write area is equals to length multiplied by breadth. Now you need to print the area. Now you need to print the area. Print area, right? So this is the code you write. Then you can hit shift enter in this case. Now you can see the area have been printed. In this example you can see that this length into breadth is the area, so this length is the variable. Now if you change this and hit shift enter, then the area will be different. So this length and breadth are the variable. So let us see one example. So in for this example, suppose the length of this concrete slab is, now we assume this as 5 meter. Suppose breadth is as of this concrete slab is 3 meter, and the thickness be suppose 0.15 meter, that is 150 mm. In order to do this, so in the input section we put length is equals to 5 meter, yes, the breadth is equals to 3 meter, and the thickness is equals to 0.15 meter. Now what you need to do is you need to calculate the volume V is equals to L into B into the thickness, right? So you need to print, so you need to print what? Suppose concrete volume. So concrete volume is the string, so concrete volume is equals to, so you need to, suppose you need to print this in this form. You need to print the B, and then you can print the volume in the form of what? In the form of, suppose for example, cubic meter, right? So meter to the power 3, right? So you can just put these things. Now let's see what will happen in this case. Now if you do shift enter, look, this is the undetermined string lateral detected in line 6. So there is something error. So this is error because of, now shift enter. So concrete volume is 2.25 cubic meters. So you have just developed the perfect code for your civil engineering project. But now we need to calculate the number of bricks required in this wall. Now I will just write the input here. Here we have the length of the wall L. Suppose I make this L as the variable 5 meter. So I will write it since the dimension is in meter. So the height of this wall, this wall has a height of 3 meters. Suppose 3 meter. Length of the brick, suppose LB, okay, length of the brick I write with LB is 0.230. it's the input, again everything is in meter, and the height of the brick is SB. Suppose its height is 55 mm, so 0.055 meter. Now we need to calculate the number of bricks required. So this is the input. Now you have to apply the formula in this case. So you can calculate the area, or I will write area of the wall AW as the length into the height. So this is the area of the wall, so it will be in square meters. So area of the brick I will write AB, and it will be LB into the HB, right? So it is in, again in square meters, yes. Now you can calculate the N is the number of bricks in this wall area. Suppose you calculate it by dividing AW, that is area of the wall, divided by the area of the brick, right? So this is N. Now you need to print. Now you need to print this. So in the print section you can show the what you need to print. So number of bricks, yeah, so you need to print numbers of bricks. So is equals to, and this is stored as a string. Then you need to show the value N, okay. So then you need to close this, so it will print N. Hit shift enter, then number of bricks in this cross section of the wall will be 1185. So in this example, so this is your input section, this is your input section, right? So this is what you calculate the area of the brick. So you can just area of the wall, right? So this is area of the wall, and this is what this section is area of the brick. Okay, so this is the section. Now this is what number of bricks. So you can easily write the things as you write in your copyright. So now you can just print. So this is again a good practice to write things like that. So this is very fundamental thing that we covered in this video. In the next video we will make graphs, structure calculations, Excel automations, solving calculations, and many more applications using Python. So like, share and subscribe. Please, thanks for watching.